Hello, Tracy here, and I have a layout to share with you that is sort of titled Morro Bay, California. This layout has a lot going on, so I didn't do a big title for it. It is going right next to the layout that I just recently did called I Heart Mermaids, and these are more pictures of the filming that we did of the Mermaid Miracles that my son is in here on YouTube. And so I had a bunch of the pictures developed at Walgreens using their collage print, and I did 4 pictures per 4x6, and so they're like 3x2, less than 3x2. And so this layout's going to have a total of 11 pictures on it, of those small pictures. And I'm going to do them in 3 clusters. So here I am arranging them and trying to, I had no idea how was I going to do it, and then I end up pulling it together as 3 clusters. Originally I thought I would do them sort of scattered everywhere, which I kind of like it, but then I go with it more like that. Okay, so the background page is Studio Calico Sun Drifter Collection in Love It's called. The top left square is Studio Calico Atlantic Montauk, and the right bottom is, the right top, is Amy Tangerine Yes Please Reflect. And the bottom right is a crepe paper, the Pierre merry-go-round. And then the left bottom one, I don't know what it is, but it came from a Studio Calico kit. It came from the May kit. And here I'm liking how I have them, sort of. So I took a picture, and then now I'm going to do some outlining with the Niji watercolors. And I go with this real light silver paint, and it's very light, and you can't really see it here on the camera, but I really love it. It feels very beachy to me because it's not overly silvery and shiny. It's much more subtle. And I outline all 4 of those, and like I said, the background. And I think, yeah, I'm going to glue those down because I'm feeling good about that. And then I get to work here on my little clusters. And that Maggie Holmes frame, that's from the Maggie Holmes, Crepe Paper Maggie Holmes collection kit, and it's one of those perforated sheets that has embellishments, and I really like it. I like that it's a darker blue as opposed to all the light blues in this, so it sort of pulls the blue out. And the blue of the sea, I like that, and the sky, so it just really went. And I think I'm going to get to work on the bottom right cluster here. Oh no, maybe not. Okay, here's vellum that came from the paper company that I got a sample pack from of papers. I've used it in previous layouts, and it came with a bunch of different vellums, and this is one of them. And I'm going to go with that there like that. And I sort of hop around from picture cluster to picture cluster because I get stumped, and then I go to a different cluster. That's kind of how I work. If I get stumped, I move on. Oh, here I was trying to use another frame down on the left, right, but then, I mean the bottom left, but then I end up using it in the right bottom. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of mess up that Maggie Holmes frame. I crinkled it all up, and then the reason I crinkled it is so that it would the folds would catch the paint. And now I'm gonna spray some ink on there as well. So I did some paint, and now I think that was oh, let's see, did I write it down? I did not write that down, but I'm 99% sure that it was Mr. Huey's. Oh, well, that's Mr. Huey's. Oh, that's Mr. Huey's pinstripe. The one I sprayed before. I did Heidi Swap Shine Tinsel. So now it has watercolor, and then I did the tinsel on top, because I think, if I'm remembering right, the watercolor just wasn't adhering to the frame, because it has a gloss finish on it, and the spray is stickier than watercolor. And now I've got that seafoam paper. That's the Studio Calico Sun Drifter. I'm going to use a strip down there. I thought I would just use it in the frame, but you'll see that I add a wood grain page as well. It's the DIY Shop Decor is what I use. There it is. I am going to put it. There we go. Okay, this is already the second time I'm recording because of all the interruptions. As soon as I put this thing on, the phone starts ringing, the dogs start barking. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that is drywall tape. I've used it in previous layouts. And I tend to love it for a beachy type layout because it just has a beach feel to me. I don't necessarily know why that is, but it does feel that way to me. So I use that to tape those down there. The papers, the two papers there that I have. And the bottom I added that little square is the same, that Amy Tangerine paper. What's that called again? Yes, please reflect. And here I crinkled up that frame, which that slide frame is, I think it's a basic gray set of, or film strip, I should say, that I got from one of the Studio Calico kits. Anyway, I crinkled it up quite a bit, and then I was able to, I stapled it down with the tiny attacher, and then I could easily clip the pictures to it using these tiny clothespins that I got. I believe I got those from Michael's. I may have gotten them from a shop on Etsy, actually. I'm not entirely sure, but those you can get anywhere. They're just some white tiny clips. And now, trying to figure out, I'm adding embellishments. That circle is Chic Tags, and it says favorite place, which is perfect because it's just beautiful right here. This little hidden beach that we filmed out. And now that's a fabric sticker. It's a Cosmo Cricket, and it came from a Studio Calico kit several months ago. I just hadn't used those up. that's the spot it's going to end up in. I felt like I had to put the pictures to the left to be able to know where to finish off my embellishments on the right. And if you notice, I'm not staying perfectly in each square because I don't want it to look so grid. So I'm making sure that I have each area kind of overlap just a little bit. That little arrow with the perfect, that's a citrus twist stamp, and I stamped it 3 times, and then I'm covering it with this, the one arrow, because I decided I want to have the fabric arrow in between there. And then now I'm painting that wood veneer, I think that's a Studio Calico wood veneer arrow, white, so that I just felt like it should be white to go with the clips there. And then it's still a little too plain, so I'm looking for what to do with this. I'm thinking enamel dot, I'm thinking bling, I'm thinking what can I add to this? And then I come up with an idea with some twine. I pulled out the glossy accents because I almost just went ahead and attached it, but it was just really bugging me. So I pulled out this twine, American Crafts twine, and I wrap it around. The first time it didn't look right. The knot was not working. I wanted the knot, I decided I wanted the knot to be on the back of the arrow and not show. And I use pop dots and glossy accents to attach this because the twine made it raise up automatically, so I needed pop dots as well. And I really like how that came out. And the chic tag, I roughed up the edges nicely. And now I'm moving on to my other cluster here to the left. And I'm feeling like that is not grounded, so then I add some more of that DIY Shop Decor wood paper and ground those. I like that much better. And then that's what I use for my sort of jumping off point to make this little embellishment. Those stars are actually beads, and I got those from Drew Scott's Etsy shop. It's called Hopscotch something. And I fiddle around with these quite a bit. I keep changing colors, and then I finally end up with 2 of those on the end, and then I'm going to add a star that I also got from a different Etsy shop. It's a wood veneer kind of an item, but it has a hole at the top, and so I loop string and put it through, and it's going to be in the middle between the 2 stars. The 2 they're like a ceramic, sort of, the stars. They're really quite neat, actually. His, Drew Scott's, he's here on YouTube. If you don't know of him, he's amazing. Young kid who, I mean, he has, I don't know, 12,000 subscribers, maybe more. I don't know, that's a guess from the, I have no idea really how many he has, but a ridiculous amount. I mean, he's really quite a talented kid. But all the money that he earns from his Etsy site will go towards his college. He's going to, what's it? The Fashion Institute, something, FIDM, I think, or I don't know. I don't know these things, but it's a fashion college, and he will be using his income from his shop to pay for it, which I think is, I mean, I just love to support that. And this is another stamp from Citrus Twist that says, I'm totally not forgetting this, I believe is what it says. And I am going to tiny attach. I actually switched that picture. That picture I originally had up at the top cluster, but I decided it went better with these pictures down here. That's the double one I'm talking about that I just stapled. And I'm going to start to attach. I'm going to use a couple more of the little clips to pull that through to each cluster. I end up with 2 here, and then I go with 1 more at the top so that every cluster has a paper clip. I think that's the one item that every single cluster has. And then I dot that up because when I clipped it, it made it stick up a little bit, and I like it a lot, sticking up. And now I'm going to work to the left, I believe, unless I get stumped. Yeah, I got stumped, so I moved on up to the cluster up there, and then I'm trying to figure out how to lay those pictures out. And here's where I almost take one of those pictures out, but oh no, I'm back down to the left bottom. And I'm going to finish up this whole cluster area. And I want the camera because he's being filmed. And I add that little piece. That's a crepe paper. I don't remember the name of it, but I just use that little strip of it. Because I wanted to use that circle, but I didn't want it too low. I need it to fill that space there. And if I put it up higher, then it was like floating. So that's why I put that stripe paper underneath. And then that sticker is from the crepe paper, the 14 collection. And it looks a little bit like a washi tape, sort of, but it's not clear. Okay, now I'm popping up that picture, that strip of the 2 pictures up at the top, and adding another little piece of the stripe paper, which you can't really tell it's there, but I'm trying to figure out where to put that 3rd picture, and that's where I go with it. I ended up having to refill my ATG, so I turned off the recorder while I did that. Okay, now I'm feeling like that cluster up at the top is just floating there, and I wanted it off the page or off the grid at the top because, like I said, I don't like it. I didn't want this to be like sections, and so that's why I have each cluster sort of moving on to the next grid. But this one was just floating way too high, so now I'm gonna add some stuff at the bottom to have it not feel so floaty, kind of ground that section. And I'm using the crepe paper, the Pier, that's the washi tape page. I think it's called that. I don't know what it's called, but it's like washi tape, a big sheet of it, and you cut it out. And here I'm going to use some, that is crepe paper, the Pier, that's the sticker sheet. And I'm using those geotags from it. And now I'm writing Morro Bay, California. And that I'm using, those are Tim Holtz tiny letter stickers, and in the close-ups you can see they look like they are what do you call it? from a label, a Dymo. And looking back, I kind of wish I had painted the geotag wood veneer and the camera wood veneer white like I did with the arrow, but that's all right. It looks good. And now I'm gonna spray some ink or splatter some ink. I use Mr. Huey's Bonnie Blue and First Kiss. And that plastic at the top, that's just from a... Oh, that's from the 14 stickers, that's why. Crepe paper. I'm going to throw it away anyway because I'm going to put that in my book. And here's close-ups. Thank you so much for watching and making it through this very long video. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.